Let us now understand the computer setup editor, which is a tool designed to help manage your scitech.ini file. This can be accessed by clicking on the drop-down under Setup Wizard and by clicking on Setup Editor. Like we already discussed, the computer setup editor is a utility designed to help you manage your scitech.ini files. It combines a graphical user interface with an extensive help system. This interface provides a convenient way to view, search, and modify parameters within a scitech.ini file. The help system navigates the user through the parameter reference documentation, displaying the topic relevant to the current parameter. You can use the computer setup editor to perform the following tasks: add or delete parameters, change the value of existing parameters, including the addition of optional comments, save changes to disk, cancel all changes or backup to a new file, generate a comparison report between two separate configuration files, visually highlighting their differences, generate an analysis report on a configuration file which provides a useful summary of parameter settings, including validity checks on bounds and paths. So, the computer setup editor interface consists of the following components. The expandable tree is used to display and navigate the contents of the scitech.ini file. Each branch on the tree represents a section within the scitech.ini file. Each branch represents the parameters within that section. You can expand or collapse the tree nodes by clicking the plus and the minus sign by each element, just as you would in a Windows Explorer. You can use the parameter details pane, which you see right here, to view and modify settings and comments for parameters and sections. You can also add comments to the scitech.ini file using the parameter details pane. When a parameter or section entry is highlighted, for example, when I've highlighted this parameter called remote equal to 1 in the tree pane, the corresponding values populate in the parameter details pane and the corresponding help files appear in the help pane. Similarly, the parameter details pane populates when a help topic is selected. This occurs whether or not the parameter exists in the current configuration file. You can also use the tree search to search for a particular element in the computer setup editor's expandable tree. You can use this help pane to understand what parameter categories you're working with and get some more help on it. You can also click on an existing parameter and right click on the existing parameter and choose disable to disable that particular parameter. You can also right click on it and click on enable, right? To add a particular parameter, all you have to do is to navigate to the parameter details, enter the section. For example, in my scenario, I have already entered the section CT API. The parameter is remote and the value equal to 1. Just for demonstration purpose, I will delete it and I will re-enter the section. So now I want to add a section called CT API. Notice how the help pane appeared corresponding to the particular section. In this case, I want to add a parameter called remote. So I'll enter remote in the parameter. Once I enter the remote parameter, it is also showing me the allowable values in the help pane. So I will add a value called 1, and if you want, you can add a comment. I will just say add. Now the parameter that we want is added to the scitech.ini file. All we have to do right now is to click on save. Now we have successfully added a section, a parameter, and a value to our scitech.ini file. In the ParseCADA Studio, if you navigate to setup, there's a section called parameters from where you can add sections and parameter to the scitech.ini file. However, whatever you add in the computer setup editor will override these parameters. There is also a help tab from which you can view the various parameter categories and also driver specific parameters that can be added to the scitech.ini file. The file tab gives you the option to save your scitech.ini file. That comes to the end of the discussion on how to use the computer setup editor to add or modify the scitech.ini file. Until the next time, thank you.